Jayo Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Gopi Jana Jayo Jayo Yashodanandana Jayo Prachajana Rangana Jayo Prachajana Jayo Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Kunja Bihari Aya Jayo Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ramo Ram Hare Hare Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Shri Harinam Sankirtanam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtake Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So we are reading the 21st verse today from the 16th chapter of the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yastvam vivikta-caritair anuvartamānāṁ nātyādriyat parama-bhāgavata-prasaṅgaḥ tvam dvijānupatha-puṇya-rajaḥ-punītaḥ śrīvatsa-lakṣma agāḥ bhājananas tvam yastvam vivikta-caritair anuvartamānāṁ nātyādriyat parama-bhāgavata-prasaṅgaḥ Sattvam dvijānupatha-puṇya-rajaḥ-punītaḥ śrīvatsa-lakṣma agāḥ-bhaga-bhājanas tvam yastvam vivikta-caritair anuvartamānāṁ nātyādriyat parama-bhāgavata-prasaṅgaḥ sattvam dvijānupatha-puṇya-rajaḥ-punītaḥ śrīvatsa-lakṣma agāḥ-bhajanas tvam. So I request you to please repeat. Vivikta-caritair anuvartamānāṁ tvam dvijānupatha-puṇya-rajaḥ-punītaḥ tvam vivikta-caritair anuvartamānāṁ nātyādriyat parama-bhāgavata-prasaṅgaḥ sattvam dvijānupatha-puṇya-rajaḥ-punītaḥ śrīvatsa-lakṣma agāḥ-bhajanas tvam. Matajis. Word to word meaning. Yaha who tam Lakṣmī vivikta completely pure charitair devotional services anuvartamānāṁ serving not atyādriyat attached parama the highest bhagavata devotees prasaṅgaḥ attached saha the Supreme Lord tvam you dvija of the brāhmaṇas anupatha on the path punya sanctified raja dust punita purified śrīvatsa of śrīvatsa-lakṣma the mark kim what agāḥ you obtain bhaga all opulences are good qualities bhājanaḥ the reservoir tvam you. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. O Lord, you are exceedingly attached to the activities of your pure devotees, and yet you are never attached to the goddesses of fortune who constantly engage in your transcendental loving service. How can you be purified, therefore, by the dust of the path traversed by the brāhmanas And how can you be glorified or made fortunate by the marks of śrīvatsa on your chest? Purport. It is said in the Brahma Samhita that the Lord is always served by many hundreds of thousands of goddesses of fortune in his Vaikuntha planet. Yet because of his attitude of renunciation of all the opulences, he is not attached to any one of them. The Lord has 6 opulences: unlimited wealth, unlimited fame, unlimited strength, unlimited beauty, unlimited knowledge, and unlimited renunciation. All the demigods and other living entities worship Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, just to get her favor. Yet the Lord is never attached to her because he can create an unlimited number of such goddesses for his transcendental service. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, is sometimes envious of the tulasi leaves which are placed at the lotus feet of the Lord, for they remain fixed there and do not move, whereas Lakshmi ji, although stationed by the chest of the Lord, sometimes has to please other devotees who pray for her favor. Lakshmi ji sometimes has to go to satisfy her numerous devotees, but tulasi leaves never forsake their position, and the Lord therefore appreciates the service of the tulasi more than the service of Lakshmi. When the Lord says therefore that it is due to the causeless mercy of the brāhmaṇas that Lakshmi ji does not leave him, we can understand that Lakshmi ji is attracted by the opulence of the Lord, not by the brāhmanas' benedictions upon him. The Lord is not dependent on anyone's mercy for his opulence. He is always self-sufficient. The Lord's statement that his opulence is due to the benediction of the brāhmanas and the Vaishnavas is only to teach others that they should offer respect to the brāhmanas and Vaishnavas, the devotees of the Lord. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapad-kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathambitam Tam Sajivam Sadavaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namaum Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रसुभद्राभ्यां श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So I seek the blessings of all the devotees here, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, Prabhujis and Matajis, so that we can make some humble attempt to glorify the Lord and the devotees of the Lord and be absorbed in those glories. In this beautiful section of the prayers of the Chatushkumaras to the Supreme Lord, these prayers of the Chatushkumaras are reflecting, rather amplifying the supreme opulence of the Supreme Lord. And that is the remarkable contribution which the Acharyas do in our life, that they amplify the glory, the mercy, the opulence of the Supreme Lord. So in this pastime and episode we see that just the presence, in the chapter it comes that just the presence of the Supreme Lord itself thrilled the four Kumaras. The Chatush Kumaras were thrilled. They were mesmerized. They were stunned simply by the presence of the Supreme Lord, and simply by the presence of the Supreme Lord. And yes, you see, that is the nature of the presence of the Supreme Lord. That the presence of the Supreme Lord can brings about that thrill, that awakening, as if a dead man has come out alive. So it's and the Shastras and the Acharyas explain that that is the power of the Krishna Katha also, and especially that Krishna Katha is coming through the Acharyas. Then the genuine devotees of the Lord, then that Krishna Katha itself has that power of creating an explosion. So in that sense, the presence of the Supreme Lord itself created an explosion. But when the Lord starts speaking further, it further creates a cascade of the thrilling explosions. What is the Lord speaking? And how is the Lord behaving? Because when the Lord is speaking, the Lord is pouring out His heart. So this specific verse is addressed to the Lord's statement in text 7. 7, yes. But the Lord is saying, Srila Prabhupada says that the Lord continued, because I am a servitor of my devotees, my Lord's feet have become so sacred that they immediately wipe out all sin. And I have acquired such a disposition that a goddess of fortune does not leave me, even though I have no attachment for her. And others praise her beauty and observe sacred vows to secure from her even a slight favor. Even a slight favor. So here we see the Chatushkumaras, they are dumbfounded and they are saying, what are you saying, O Lord? And they are saying, in this way, the Chatushkumaras are dazzled by the Chatushkumaras are dazzled by the supreme opulence of the Lord's presence, and not just the Lord's presence, the Lord's words, because the Lord's words are reflecting the heart of the Supreme Lord, and that heart of the Supreme Lord is having such supreme mercy. So that interface with the supreme, most fathomless mercy of the Lord that interface was creating such an awakening. And therefore, at the end of these prayers, the Chatushkumaras is saying, we know, oh Lord, we have committed a mistake. So, we know we have committed a mistake. And at the same time, the Chatushkumaras are expressing that confidence that we know that you are so merciful that even though we have been, even though that we are not perfect, even though we have committed a mistake, we know that you have accepted us. And we are ready for anything, whatever you say, whatever judgment you want to give for the Shri Jaya and Vijay, and whatever punishment you want to give us, we are ready to accept everything, O Lord. So, so this is where we see the beautiful opulence or the fathomless opulence, that how this is the nature of the heart. So when the Lord is speaking, the nature of the heart comes out, and that completely overwhelms the Chatushkumaras. And as they are amplifying, in their prayers, they are amplifying the same very mood, so that so that we can also get affected by this very opulence of the Supreme Lord, that His mercy is fathomless. That how the Lord's heart is completely filled with love and affection and mercy for His devotees. That how the Supreme Lord is so merciful. Here, Srila Prabhupada is explaining about, Srila Prabhupada is quoting from Srila Brahma Samhita, and Prabhupada is explaining that the Supreme Lord, there are hundreds and thousands of goddesses of Lakshmi, and they are serving the Supreme Lord. But the Supreme Lord is not attached because of His renunciation of all the opulences. So for the sake of the mercy and compassion, the Lord is ready to renounce all His opulences for the sake of His devotees. And this is what the Chatushkumaras are exclaiming. So actually the words of the Lord have started this nuclear fission of ecstasy, and they are going on, and they are saying, so this is how great and this is how glorious your mercy is, that so the Chatushkumaras are saying here in this prayer And they are saying, "O Lord, you are exceedingly attached to the activities of your pure devotees. And yet you are never attached to the goddesses of fortune, who are constantly engaged in your transcendental loving service." Now this is very exciting, because now in one sense we are seeing that the Lord is, so the Lord is encouraging the Chatushkumaras, even though the Chatushkumaras had, even though the Chatushkumaras in that way, as they're realizing, they overreacted in terms of their reciprocation to the to Shri Jai and Vijay. They overreacted, but the Lord is so welcoming. The Lord is so encouraging. The Lord won over their hearts, not simply by their presence also, but by by the Lord's behavior. So here the Chatushkumara is speaking so beautiful. Here they're saying that, so the Lord is not attached to the goddess of fortune. That is because of his renunciation. And then the Lord is attached to his pure devotees. That is because of his renunciation. So the goddess of fortune are also the pure devotees of the Lord. So this goes to show that the Lord is attached to the pure devotees. That is the Lord's renunciation. And the Lord is not attached to the pure devotees. That is his renunciation. In that way, the Supreme Lord is renounced in a very dynamic fashion. Because we see, so this is the dynamism. So it's not that the Lord is not accepting Mother Lakshmi, no, goddess of fortune, their services. The Lord is, but the Lord is ready to accept anyone who wants to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. And for that reason, the Lord is ready to forsake everything. And that is the supreme dynamic opulence of renunciation of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is ready to the Supreme Lord is ready to break his vow. Where the words coming from the Supreme Lord are lines of stone, and taking shelter of those words, one can elevate oneself and walk the path of emancipation. The Supreme Lord is ready to break his own words. The Supreme Lord is ready to become the charioteer of his own devotee. The Lord as Partha Sarathi. For the sake of his devotees, the Lord is ready to do anything. And this is the supreme compassion of the Lord. And this supreme compassion of the Lord is one of the very amazing mysteries which the acharyas are unraveling to all of us. Like, say for example, Mother Kunti Devi, in her prayers, Mother Kunti Devi is praying, and she's saying the nature of the Lord is absolutely bewildering. Every aspect of the Supreme Lord is very bewildering. Therefore, the Lord is now if we see what is this quality of renunciation of the Supreme Lord, and this quality is also bewildering, because on one hand the Lord is very attached to his pure devotees. He can do anything for the sake of his devotees. He can put anything at stake for the sake of his devotees, and he is not at all attached to his pure devotees also. So that way the Lord is welcoming to anyone who surrenders to him, anyone who comes to him, so much so that everything the Lord is ready to offer and sacrifice for the sake of any devotee. And therefore Mother Kunti Devi is telling tad atyanta bidambanam. Then she is explaining that, O Lord, you are. So she is saying, O Lord, you are. So the Lord is explained, or the Lord is one of the vibhuti of the Lord is neutral. He is neutral to everyone. But now the Lord is neutral to everyone. We see the Lord is extremely partial to his devotees. So in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the neutrality exists because anyone can take shelter of the Supreme Lord, and the Lord is ready to offer shelter to anyone and everyone. At the same time, one who takes the steps towards the Lord, then the Lord becomes very partial. So neutrality and partiality actually contrasting are exactly opposite antonyms, and how they can coexist in the Supreme Lord. That is the supreme vibhuti of mercy of the Supreme Lord. That the Supreme Lord is extremely neutral and the Supreme Lord is extremely partial. In the neutrality of the Supreme Lord, there is complete partiality, and in the partiality of the Supreme Lord is complete neutrality. And that is how complete the Supreme Lord is, because in His neutrality there is complete partiality. Because the Lord is ready to offer everything for anyone. And the Lord is, like Lord Ramachandra is proclaiming that even if Ravan comes, what are you are all talking about whether to accept Vibhishan Maharaj or not, but even if Ravana comes, I am ready to give him shelter also. The Lord is ready to accept everyone. So in His neutrality, there is this partiality. And in His partiality, that love which the Lord is demonstrating towards His pure devotees, that is a demonstration. And the Lord is showing that that love I have for each and every one of you. Why don't you take a step towards me? Why don't you take a step towards me? So therefore we see that this is the supreme vibhuti of the Supreme Lord, that the Lord is very, very dynamic. So, now here the Lord is favoring the Chatushkumaras, and His love, His compassion, He is overwhelming them. And the Lord is demonstrating that He is ready to offer that love and compassion for everyone. So for that reason we see that the Lord has created such a complicated universe in the first place. This material world is so complex. This material world is so complex. Prabhupada describes in Ishopanishad, the material world is perfect and complete. So the Lord has made such a material world which is so complete, which is so complete that it has complete arrangement to keep the living entity in complete maya for the complete time span of eternity. And it has complete arrangement for the living entity, who is also originally complete because of its complete connection to the Supreme Lord, to make up for the living entity's completeness by establishing that complete relationship with the complete Supreme Lord. So in that sense, the Lord has created such a terrific facility. And Srila Prabhupada explains in one of the purports in Srimad Bhagavatam, very amazing. And Prabhupada is explaining that actually this material world, if the heart of the living entity, the conditioned soul, is visualized and graphically displayed, it becomes this material world. And whereas the heart of the Supreme Lord, if that is graphically displayed, that becomes the spiritual world. That is exactly the spiritual world. The spiritual world is the manifestation of the heart of the Supreme Lord. And the material world is the manifestation of the heart and all the totality of the desires of the living entity. And that in the graphical visualization becomes this material world. So when the Lord is making a material world, that itself is, there itself the Lord is impregnating this material world with this supremest mercy. And therefore, in the prayers of the residents of Jambudvip, Ariyama is glorifying that he is amazed and dazzled and he is astonished. And he is astonished. The material world is so wonderful in the sense that, in one sense, it wonderfully creates a spell for those who want to be in the cell. But one who wants to come out, there is such a wonderful facility to get out. And the Lord has put all that. That is His supreme mercy. So yes, the Lord is extremely neutral and the Lord is extremely partial. So in that sense, the Lord is attached to His devotees and the Lord is not attached to His devotees also. So, sometimes there is this thought, or sometimes there is this point that the Supreme Lord, does the Supreme Lord only act for the sake of His pure devotees? And the Lord is demonstrating that even as pure devotees, the Supreme Lord are not attached. Why? We can see in so many pastimes of the Lord, like say for example in the Rasa Lila, within a moment the Lord disappeared. And from the midst of the gopis, within a moment the Lord disappeared. And the Lord saw a tinge of false pride, and the Lord immediately disappeared. Whereas in the case of Gajendra Maharaj, now Gajendra Maharaj is on the verge of death, and somehow from the deepest crevices of his memory systems, he could remember a verse. And with all his heart, with all his desperation and helplessness to take shelter, he is calling out for the Supreme Lord, interestingly not even knowing whom he is calling out. And therefore there was absolute confusion in the demigod assembly also, because everybody was wondering whom he is calling. He is calling very fervently, but who should answer? And only when they see the Supreme Lord has already started answering, then they realize. So now Gajendra Maharaj is calling out, and then later is remembering the Supreme Lord, and then later is remembering that Supreme Lord is Lord Vishnu. And the Lord immediately comes to save him. The Lord immediately comes to save him. So this is the supremost mercy of the Supreme Lord. That the mercy of the Supreme Lord, actually the Supreme Lord is not having, the Supreme Lord's love and compassion is not just for his pure devotees, each and every living entity. And therefore in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prahlad Maharaj is glorifying the Supreme Lord, and Prahlad Maharaj is saying that, O Lord, so he is saying, O Lord, you are Kripana Vatsalaha. Everyone knows that you are Bhakta Vatsala, but you are Kripana Vatsala also. That means Kripana Vatsala. That means you have that overflowing and overwhelming love for each and every living entity. Even though they may be miserly and they may be materialistic, atheistic. This is his mercy. In the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Gajendra Maharaj in his prayers, he says, Madrak prapanna pashupash vimukshanaya muktasya bhuri karunaya namo lalaya. The way Gajendra Maharaj is praying that, O Lord, although I am an animal, I am full of ignorance, and there is no hope and scope for me, but I am taking shelter of you with that confidence that yes, you will accept me with all, although I am most incapable. Why? Because you are the one who can offer liberation. You are Bhuri Karuna, you are extremely merciful. Namo Alalaya. Then he addresses the Supreme Lord as Alalaya. Srila Prabhupada explains in the translation that Alalaya is that personality, that Supreme Lord, who is working very hard for the deliverance of the living entity. So there Srila Prabhupada explains that Alalaya, that Supreme Lord who is working very hard for the deliverance of the living entity. That Supreme Lord was working very hard for the deliverance of the living entity. So therefore Prahlad Maharaj is telling, oh Lord, you are, so he is telling Alalaya, and therefore I am taking shelter of you, and I have no other option other than being completely dependent on you. So the Supreme Lord is always working hard towards the deliverance of each and every living entity. And that is how, and therefore we see that this is the restlessness, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also is expressing that restlessness in Chaitanya Charitamrita we read, and the Lord is very restless. How will people be delivered? How will people be delivered? And there we see in that pastime when Srila Haridas Thakur comes forward and relieves the Supreme Lord. So in that sense we see the acharyas, they relieve the anxiety. This is the Lord's burning anxiety. This is the Lord's burning anxiety. So therefore we see that the Supreme Lord's supreme mercy and love is available for everyone. Rather, the Lord is ready to give that mercy to everyone. Now, another point we can see is in Krishna Lila also, we see that the Lord Krishna stayed in Vrindavan, which is the supremest opulence of love and loving devotional service in Brajadham. And the Lord only stayed there 10.5 years. Whereas for 100 years the Lord was in Dwaraka and Hastinapur. And in his attempt to paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam, he was engaged. Now if you see from that perspective, now if you see statistically speaking, whom the Lord loves more? For the sake of living entities not surrendered to the Supreme Lord, the Lord is ready to leave the supremest opulence of Vrindavan and run behind the living entities who are running after, who are running away from the Lord, who are running after the materialism and atheism and all that. With this same mode, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas also, leaving the supremest opulence of the divine oceanic love of Mother Shachi and Mother Vishnu Priya Devi, to run behind or for the sake of the deliverance of those living entities who are not even subservient to the Lord, rather who are defying the position of the Lord, for their sake. And therefore, the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Lord is glorified as Taktva Sutuschaja Surepsita Raja Lakṣmī Dharmishtha Aryavachasa Yadaga Aranyam Mayamrigam Daitepsitam Anvadhava Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam. And yes, the Supreme Lord is the personality whom we should, whose lotus feet are worth grabbing and holding very tightly to our heart. Why? Because he gives up the supremest opulence. As Lord Krishna Chandra, he gave up the supremest opulence of Rajadham. As Lord Chaitanya, he gave up the supremest opulence of Mother, the love of Mother Shachi and Mother Vishnu Priya Devi. And as Lord Ramachandra, he gave up the supremest opulence of Ayodhya. And he is running around. Maya Mrigam, the living entities who are running away from Krishna. He's running around the living entities who are running away from Krishna. So the Supreme Lord has supreme love for everyone, but here it is being explained, it is being highlighted here by Srila Prabhupada in the purport, that the Supreme Lord love is showered, or one can access that love of the Supreme Lord by taking exclusive shelter of the Supreme Lord. So here Srila Prabhupada is explaining how the position, the service of Mother Tulasi is, the Lord appreciates that much more than the service of Mother Lakṣmī. Because of that exclusiveness, because Mother Tulasi is fixed, whereas Srila Prabhupada explains here that Mother Lakṣmī, sometimes she has to go to favor her devotees in between, she has to go. Srila Prabhupada explains many such wonderful revelations in teachings of Queen Kunti. Also Prabhupada explains that how Nanda and Yashoda, they were more fortunate than even Devaki and Vasudeva. Why? Because exclusivity. They were exclusively. That is the difference between asking that, okay, we want Krishna, we want you as the son, and Krishna, we want a son like you. And Prabhupada explains, and Prabhupada also explains that in teachings of Queen Kunti, Prabhupada also explains that even Lord Krishna was personally present much more by the side of Kunti Devi than Mother Devaki. That also comparison he gives. That also comparison. Although all our pure devotees, Krishna is more present. All our pure devotees and Krishna is more present for Mother Kunti Devi. Because Prabhupada explains there, Srila Prabhupada is explaining that because when it came to Mother Devaki had her husband by her side, so she had some shelter and someone to protect. But whereas Mother Kunti, she was nobody, and therefore actually Krishna personally. And that is why Mother Kunti Devi is not letting go of Krishna, and she is telling that it is not that these dangers have gone, and their sons and grandsons are still there. The dangers will always be there, and Prabhupada also explains dangers will be there because material world is a dangerous place, and therefore please don't leave us, and let us always grab on to your lotus feet. So Krishna's, so this is the divine lesson which Srila Prabhupada is explaining here, that the Supreme Lord is having that supreme opulence of compassion, and he's completely renounced for the sake of any living entity, but only and what is the way to access that mercy or that compassion is when we helplessly, exclusively depend on the Supreme Lord. and we are available, completely dependent and available for the service of the Supreme Lord, and be completely dependent on the Supreme Lord. We'll stop here for today. So we'd like to, so if there are any, Prabhu, you would like to give some comments? So devotees would like to ask a question or comments, we'll be happy to receive. 2 to 3 minutes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Nice class. So today we see the purport, the Lakṣmī Devi is a little bit unfortunate. So in Vrindavan we see when Rasa Lila is going on, Lakṣmī Devi cannot enter in the Rasa Lila, and still she is meditating in the Vrindavan. And today we see the tulsi leaves, she is fixed Lord's lotus feet, and not the Lakṣmī Devi. Prabhupada said Lakṣmī Devi is Chanchola, and the Lord is Chanchalapati, and we are the Chanchalapati Das. So we are, Prabhupada said, we are doing fighting against Maya, Mayavadi. But instead of fighting against Maya, we are fighting with each other. So what is our hope? This is my question.
Okay. What is our hope? So I can share a little bit, what I can understand. In one sense, we can see that there is a good amount of turbulence even around now devotees' lives, and we see which can distract us, potentially disturb us. So in that sense, we can see that yes, we are in a dangerous position, or we are in a hopeless position. But on the other hand, parallelly, we do also see such a fortune of, with our own eyes, seeing such examples of dedication, such exemplary examples of dedication around us. Now, whose mere presence, whose mere remembrance can completely expose and dissipate all that fog of Srila Prabhupada's stalwart disciples and their surrender, and how they have been carrying forward this legacy of dedication, and it is such a fortune that we are able to see all that with our own eyes. Like Param Pujya His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, with our own eyes we are able to see such examples of dedication, and we can see them so closely, and we can see them in action, and that is such a great fortune. Like His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and we could see their mood, their behavior, how they would deal with every situation. So so that extreme fortune is also available for us, that what we want to, so we can connect to that, because when we, and therefore actually so that is why we can understand that actually Krishna's mercy can be understood by the Acharya's mercy. And the Acharya's mercy, actually Prabhupada is radiating all the Acharya's mercy through his instructions and through his life. And then this mercy of Srila Prabhupada is further being amplified by his dedicated disciples and devotees. And that is going on. And so what appears is that this great fortune is also there for us, And if we just hold on to that and soak ourselves in the lives of our acharyas and Srila Prabhupada and present acharyas and their dedication, and then so that if their mood somehow a little bit iota of their mood also creeps in, then all this troubles will vanish. All these troubles will vanish. So we'll stop here, brother. Hare Krishna. So we thank you very much for allowing us to speak some glories of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.